everyone, Tracy here with Paper Closet Designs, and today we are going to assemble 3 new pyramid gnome boxes. These have been really popular, and so I did some with a bee theme because I love bees and I thought that they would be fun. So I have 3 of them and I will show them to you as we go along, but we have one with a hive. The one we're going to do first, he's holding a bee, and the last one is he's holding a jar of honey. So this is our bee, and each one of these comes with a printable background. This one says just because, and I do have a video, not for these boxes, but just overall how to change these printables with both Cricut and Silhouette so that you can print them out just as they come, or you can delete the saying and add your own, or you can delete it completely and maybe color this if you wanted to, or write your own sentiment on it. So each one of them comes with that. And then for our little bee card, bee box, excuse me, this is what you'll get. So we have a little layered bee. He has 3 pieces. He has the background, the bee body, and the bee stripes. He's pretty much like all of the bees that I've done on my past projects. And then the gnome has little feet. He has his nose, his 2 hands, his beard, a flower for the hat, and this is optional. If you're doing this for a guy or a boy, you may not want to add the flower. And then his striped hat, and then the box. Now normally when I do a box, I put everything on it first and then put it together, but with these pyramid boxes, they work a little bit better if you fold and assemble the box first and then go ahead and glue everything on. So we're going to just take our box and we're going to score or fold all of these score lines down towards the desk or away from us. We have 1, 2, 3, and then the tab, and this top piece right here, you want to make sure that that corner gets folded really well. So those are all scored down, and then we're going to take all these other tabs and score them down as well. So everything is going in one direction. And now we're going to go ahead and put tape on this tab. Let me kind of slide these out of the way. We're going to put tape on this tab or glue, whichever one you would prefer. But you want to make sure that you get it clear to the end on the top and on the bottom. Okay. And then we're just going to fold that up and give it a nice crisp corner. Just like that. You need to lay it down and put something in there to press on that. You can do that. And then you can just fold this up, put your treat inside, fold this up, and you can either glue or tape it closed. It holds it pretty tight, so I think you're okay. But if you've got something kind of heavy in there, you might want to just put a little piece of tape or seal it, or go ahead and glue it. I don't like to glue it because then when they take it apart, it rips the box apart. Okay, so there is that. Now we're going to go ahead, my tray keeps moving, and I'm going to add my just because on the back where that thumb hole is. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to use my glue this time. Whoops. Just glue that right there. All right, and then flip it over to the front, and this is where our gnome is going to go. So the first thing we're going to do is put the feet on. And you could print these out of some pattern paper, or you could ink up your little pieces, however you want to do this. The feet go right along the bottom. And then I'm not going to glue my hat on just yet, but I am going to kind of place it on there so I know where to put my beard. And I cut my beard out of the back paper that I did my print and cut, so it's got some little lines on there, but that's all right. So we're going to hold that there and then just kind of decide where we want our beard. And then for the hat, I'm going to go ahead and glue the pieces on first before I lay it onto the box. So this one has 4 stripes, if you will, and they just go on the hat right there. So that tall piece goes on the top. And let's just lay everything out first so that we can make sure that we've got it all looking the way we want it. That looks pretty good, so I'm going to go ahead and glue this piece on. Glue this one on next. And these stripes aren't too terribly small, so they're easy to work with. And while we're gluing pieces together, let's go ahead and glue our flower together. So it's got the flower with just a center in it. Stick it right there. And then we can assemble our bee. So our bee is pretty easy. We're just going to, this has a little notch. Your file won't. I didn't realize that I'd gotten it too close to the box when I was cutting it out. And I had put my machine away so I could do the videos, and I didn't want to recut it. So, and it'll be fine, but yours is going to be fine. Okay. And then on the bee with the stripes, all we're going to do is we're going to put glue on the tail and a little bit on each stripe, and then just on this neck. There's nothing where the head goes, so you don't need to add glue to the head piece. Okay, now we can finish putting our box together. I'm going to take my hat that's all put together now and add some glue to it, to the back. Just glue him on there. And I think I'll add the little flower to the top of his hat. You could put it up here on the very top if you wanted to. I'm going to put it to the side. Okay, then I'm going to add my bee, and I'm going to add him with a couple of foam pop dots. You don't have to do the foam pop dots. You can just glue it right directly onto your box if you want to. The nose goes right up here, half on the hat and half on the beard. And then we've put the bee up with foam pop dots. So we want to make sure that we get the hands kind of on top of there too. So I'm just going to glue them. Actually, I think I'm going to add a little foam to that one. And add a little foam to this one. And there's our little gnome pyramid box holding the bee. Cute, cute, cute. Okay, so the next one is holding the beehive, and it says, "Gnome is where my honey bee." So we're going to do the same thing. We're just going to take all these pieces off. I'll show you what we have. So this one has 2 flowers. It has a smaller flower and a larger flower. And again, totally optional. We have a beehive, which has 2 pieces. We have the feet, the hands and the nose, the beard, and then this one has a 2-part hat. So it has just a solid hat and then another hat that goes on top of it, which is actually the brim of the hat, and it has the little bee antennas. And we have our box. Let's go ahead and score everything down. It's interesting, this paper, so they're both the same brand, and the orange is more lightweight than the gray. They both say they're 65 pounds, but it just goes to show you how different they can be. And like I said, they're the same brand and everything. Okay, let's go ahead and fold all of these down. And then same thing, we're going to flip it over and we're going to put glue along this tab and make sure that we get it clear to the top and clear to the bottom. And then fold up the box. I like to start at the top so that I get that corner nice and sharp and straight, and just work your way down. Flip it over, press it if you need to, and then close up the box. See, this is what happens when you don't get glue or tape right to the end. It splits, and it'll split when you've got candy in there, and you don't want that. So I'm going to just put a dab of glue and then hold that for a second. Okay, go ahead and fold it up. And let's put our saying on. Gnome is where my honeybee. If you didn't want your thumbnail to be in the back, you could always turn it this way, and this could be your front and this could be your back. It really doesn't matter. It's yours. You do it the way that you want it done. All right, let's go ahead and put our feet on. And we're going to do the same thing. We're going to kind of lay our hat on there and then decide where we want our beard. Let's put this part of the hat, the solid part. And then the brim, which has the little antennas. So don't put glue on the antenna parts because they're going to hang off the box. Just put it on the brim. Okay, let's go ahead and glue the center of the flowers on there first. These are some tiny pieces, but their machine will cut them out without any problem. And you can always use like a pickup tool or tweezers if you can't pick up those small pieces. Okay, and then we're going to glue on the front of the beehive to the back of the beehive. So all I'm going to do is flip it over, and I'm going to put a lot of glue on the little door because it's the fattest piece. And then kind of just add a couple of drops here and there. This is why I really like these small quilling bottles, excuse me. And I will show this to you in just a second. Let me get that on there so you can see it. Okay, there we go. So the bottles that I use they're called quilling bottles or thin glue bottles. They just have a needle nose at the top. And you can buy these at Walmart. I've actually got a link in my, excuse me, you can buy them at Walmart, but you can also buy them at Amazon. And I have a link for them in my Amazon storefront. You can also get them at most of your craft stores. And then you just fill them up with your favorite glue. So I really like the Scotch Create Tacky Glue. The bottles have changed. This is my last bottle that looks like this, and now they've kind of got a different look to them. But this is my favorite glue. I like the, is it the Barely Art? And there's a glitter glue that I like, but these are probably my favorite. So that's all that I use. I just dumped that in one of these bottles. Okay, so now we're gonna go ahead, and I'm not gonna pop dot this one, but I am gonna put his nose on first. So I'm just gonna glue this one on this time. And then we can glue his hands on there. Before I glue the other hand on, so we have this bigger flower. It goes on the hat, and you can put it anywhere you want. You can put it in between the antennas. You can put it up here on the side again, or you can leave it off. And then this smaller one, you can do the same thing. You could put it on the little beehive if you wanted to, or up on the hat, or you can leave it off. I'm going to put it on this little beehive right there in the corner. Glue the last hand on. Hope I'm getting glue on my fingers. And there is our little beehive pyramid box. Okay, the last one. This is kind of my favorite one, I think. So I saved it for last. And that is he's holding the honey pot. And there are actually two printables that go on this one. So we have the Be Happy. And then we have a little tiny tag that says For My Honey that goes on top of the honey pot. I'm going to glue that on there really quick so we don't lose that little piece. And it will print fine and cut with your machine. Not a problem at all. So there's For My Honey. And I would actually ink that up and give it a little bit of different color. It's actually a different color than this yellow, but on the camera, I don't think it's showing up that it is. This is more of a kind of yellow orange, and this is like a mustard yellow. Okay, so we have his feet again. This gnome actually has a mustache. So if you had this, and you wanted to put your mustache on the other boxes, you could as well. And then his nose and his two hands. And this is a two-layered hat as well, so it has the background and then it has the honeycomb that goes on the front and our box. So let's go ahead and score everything down again. Again, this paper feels a little bit heavier, but it came out of the same pack as the other orange one did. Everything is scored down. Score these down. And let's flip it over and put tape right along that edge. Fold it up. Start at the top. Get that nice crisp corner at the top. And then just work your way down. Got it too stuck over there. There we go. Let's fold it up. And glue our Be Happy to the back. These printables are also interchangeable with the boxes because they're all the same size. So if you wanted to put a different one on this box, you could. Flip it over. Shoes first. Figure out where we want our beard. I think that one I did a little bit lower than. Okay, let's add our honeycomb pattern to the front of our hat. So again, I'm going to just put glue on the brim part and then some dots here and there. Don't have to have every little piece covered. Just line that up. Okay, I am going to add my mustache with some pop dots just because it is the same color as my mustache and I don't want it to blend into the mustache. If you had some inks or some distressing crayons, some chalk, you could ink up the edges of that and then it would give it that look a little more dimensional. But I'm just going to use the pop dots and then glue on the nose. Go ahead and glue for my Gnome, and I'm going to have to do dots on that because I did it on the mustache. I don't have my big roll out today, just using these little ones. And then the hands. Let's do those with the pop dots as well. I have a bunch of bee files available both in the Silhouette store and at my Scrap Chick and in my Etsy store. I really like bees and they're so popular right now. So if you like these, go check out my site. I have a bunch of files and I'm doing some new ones today too. I've got 2 more new files besides these. So there are our Bee Gnome Pyramid boxes, all ready for summer, showers, parties, giveaways, teachers, anything you can think of. I hope you've enjoyed this video and that you will give one of these boxes a try. Please give me a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button down below so that you don't miss any of my videos, and have a great day.